Let's set the stage a little bit. It's about 9 p.m. tonight. Adam Silver is walking up to the podium. The rain of booze rain out. And Adam Silver says, with the 16th pick, the Philadelphia 76ers blank. No, literally, they blanked out and forgot to make their pick. That's probably what's going to happen. NBA draft, Sixers. Huge breaking news in the NBA that has implications on the 76ers. Guys, I hate to break it to you. It's going to be a basketball-centric show today. Trend in the AM is live, talking anything you want to talk about, but obviously a lot of basketball. We're live in 60 seconds. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome one, welcome all. Trending in the AM right here on Edge of Philly Sports. We are live. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. You know the drill wherever you are watching. Interact with the show, but do me a favor. Hit that like button, that share button, that subscribe button wherever you're at. Do whatever you can to get interactive with the show and to pretty much bring anybody you can into the show. Because that's what this show is all about, is getting as many people interactive with the show as possible. The only way we do that is by hitting that share button, that like button. It's free to do. It doesn't cost you a penny to do that. Guys, I'm your host, Phil Stiefel, every single morning right here on Trending in the AM. You can find me on every social media platform that I'm on. You can find me at Bearded Knowledge at that platform. Then find me on TikTok. I've been starting to put some show preview clips and some teases on TikTok every single night before I close to kind of tease what we're going to talk about on this show. And what are we going to talk about today? Well, it's NBA draft night one because, now there's two nights because we really needed 2 nights for the 2 rounds of the NBA draft, whatever. But it is NBA draft night. The Sixers are on the clock to get a trade done soon, I guess, in theory, so that they don't have to make a pick tonight. And shocking news, breaking news last night late that the New York Knicks, the Villanova Knicks, the New York Wildcats, whatever you want to call them, Nova Nation New York style, made a huge bombshell trade last night, trading for one of my most desirable picks for the Sixers, Mikal Bridges. And boy, did they give up a lot. 5 first-round picks, a bench player, a pick swap, a second-round pick. I mean, they gave up a lot. And all I see all over social media is how much people are ripping the trade from Sixers side of it. Oh, that's too much and all. Let me tell you something. I absolutely love the trade for the New York Knicks. Don't give me any. First and foremost, I hate the New York Knicks. All the Nova fans and all the Philly fans saying, "Oh, how dare the Knicks get all of Nova players?" I know my man Mark's always like, "Oh, they were in our backyard and we couldn't get them." Whatever. I don't care. Screw Villanova and screw that Villanova Wildcat narrative. I can't stand Villanova anymore. They're done. I'm out on Villanova. But the Knicks are on the cusp. They want to win a title. They want to compete. So they went out and made one hell of a bold-ass move last night. Is 5 first-round picks plus a lot for Mikal Bridges? Abso-freaking-lutely. But you know what? They were one series away from the NBA Finals. Well, 2. They lost in the second round. My bad. They were really close. They think they're really close. So you know what they did? They went out and made the boldest move possible to make their team what they think is better. And I can't fault them for trying to get better. On the flip side of the thing, I would have been fine if the Sixers matched that offer. I could care less. I also think the ramifications of the trade are a lot of other trade partners or potentials. Their price just went up. If Mikal Bridges fetched 5 first, Lauri Markkanen's going to fetch at least 5. You might have been able to get Brandon Ingram for 2 first. That price just went up to 3. The cost of doing business tonight in the NBA just went up. So we're going to talk about this all day long here, right here. So again, make sure you're hitting that like button, that share button, that subscribe button, that follow button. And get your thoughts in what you think of the Mikal Bridges trade and what does it mean for the Sixers? What does it mean for the rest of the trade market for all teams? What's up, Elf in the room? Good morning to you. Uriah, what's up, my man? Mikal Bridges to the Knicks. They're going all in. Morey better make a splash today, but why? Why should we expect Daryl Morey to do anything? Daryl Morey's terrible. Daryl Morey has never had a successful offseason, really. He's made a lot of mistakes. He's made a lot of good moves. Let's whatever. But he's never won anything. So I have no faith in Daryl Morey. I love the Mikal Bridges. I love when a team sees that they're on a cusp, potentially, so they make a bold move. Now, are they better than the Boston Celtics? Probably not. But they're taking their swing. They're swinging for the fences, and I love it. You know what? If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But you swing for the fences, and I love it, love it, love it. I didn't even want Bridges, if I'm being honest, but watching the Knicks improve when they're already better than us is an issue because there's nothing out there to narrow that gap. Like, Daryl Morey not only just has to swing for the fences, like, Daryl Morey has to hit 2-3 home runs to even tie this game up in the 8th inning to get close to where the Knicks are right now. And that's the problem. Knicks still have Julian Randle. He didn't even play in the – absolutely. I mean, they got Randle, Bridges, Hart, Dante, Brunson. They got a stacked roster. Their top 5 are really stacked. And they're going to be the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference next year at this moment, depending on what happens in the next 24 hours. You know what, elephant in the room? All these Villanova people, I see my main man, Mark Moschitelli, crying all the time about all these Nova players on the Knicks. Screw Villanova. They're not even Philadelphia. They're mainliners. They're rich, snobby people with their nose up in the air. I'm over the Villanova narrative. And I'm over Villanova being a Philly team. They're more New York than we are. Forget that. I don't even want to deal with the Nova narrative. It drives me nuts. Gut feeling Sixers trade out of the first round. Dude, I tweeted this last night, didn't I? I put this out there somewhere. Maybe Twitter, maybe on TikTok. I put this out yesterday afternoon or something like that, where I said, with the 16th pick, Daryl Morey trades it back, collects future assets, and gets nothing. We are going to sit around tonight and end up not trading for a player or drafting a player. We're going to collect more future assets to make more trades later on. And that's going to depress the hell out of Sixers Nation for sure. Have a great day, Deep. I was going to say, what are you doing in the comments? I was like, if you were available, you should have been on the show today. It just tells me how meaningless the NBA draft has become. Yeah, absolutely. Tells me how weak this draft class is. And look, 5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges. I mean, he hasn't gotten to that superstar level yet. Will he? I don't know. But see, here's the thing. I always say you've got to find the next superstar before they're the superstar. I got crushed before I did all this stuff way back. We're talking a decade ago when I said the Sixers should make a bold move for restricted free agent Kawhi Leonard. Well, Kawhi Leonard turned into be a pretty damn great player. I also said the same thing about C.J. McCollum when he was on his rookie deal. Wasn't quite the same. You got to take some swings. Great, good players that have potential to be great. You find them. You grab them. You overpay for them if you got to. That's what you want. Yeah, the Knicks are not in development territory. They're not going to draft players this year, next year, and try to slowly develop them. They're trying to win a title. In theory, so are the Sixers. So who cares about these picks? Go out there today, Daryl Morey, overpay for Lauri Markkanen, and bring him in here. And then go sign OG Anunoby to a max deal. Not worth a max deal, but you know what? Do it anyway. Swing for the fences. Don't be bringing in. I have, Deep saying, and I joked about this yesterday, trading for more future picks. My gut feeling tells me that the Sixers are going to trade 3 first-round picks for Jimmy Butler today. That's what my gut's telling me. And that's not the right move. That's rehashing something. That's going back to the old person well. Go out there and get a young, rising star. Go take a swing on a 26-year-old player out there that might become a superstar paired up with Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. At the very least, would be a great third option next to those two guys. Drives me nuts. Good morning, Duck. How you doing today? Unfortunately, yes, lots of Sixers talk. Ryan, how you doing? Good to see you in the comments today. The draft is massive. The Sixers didn't luck into Tyrese Maxey. Then Embiid would have requested it. Look, if you're not going to make a bold move, like trading 5 first-round picks for Lauri Markkanen, you might as well just trade Joel Embiid right now. Because drafting somebody at 16, and I did some research last night on Tristan Newton, Isaiah Collier, Jared McCain, De Silva, Dunn, Durisic even. Like, I was doing some reading on some players. These guys aren't going to help Joel win a title in the next year or two. Get out of here. So if you're not going to make a bold move for a player that's in that 26 age range, that's an all-star level player that could become a superstar, and just trade Joel Embiid right now. And I hate saying that. And this is not overreacting to the Mikal Bridges trade. This is just realizing the state of the NBA after that trade last night. I mean, the Celtics are the class above everybody else in the Eastern Conference. Then it's the Knicks and Bucks. Maybe the Cavs if they keep Donovan Mitchell. Hell, I don't even like Donovan Mitchell. Swing for the fences. Go throw 4 or 5 first-round picks for Donovan Mitchell. At least I know you're making a bold move. Instead of just bringing in another Paul George or Jimmy Butler at 35 years old. You're just saying that now. There is a live draft show right here on Edge of Philly Sports tonight. Here, let me pull up the schedule. I wasn't ready for that segue. But there's the list of shows all week long on this fantastic channel. So if you hit the subscribe or follow button, well, they'll be live tonight, 8 p.m. for the duration of the first round, right here on Edge of Philly. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn notifications on. That's how you won't miss it tonight. But yeah, you're not wrong. It's a frustrating moment. And again, was it an overpay for Mikal Bridges? Absolutely. But I give the New York Knicks front office so much credit for seeing an opportunity and saying, screw it. We're swinging for the fences. We're swinging for an upper decker. Okay? Home run, not the other upper decker. Why is everybody freaking out over the picks? They are late. My only question is having to always go for vets and older guys and replace the draft picks. The thing is, it's the thought process you're trying to win now. You don't have time to develop a draft pick because you're trying to win right now. But you also don't want to trade them for old aging vets like Jimmy Butler. Then you're stuck in a Tobias Harris situation. Ingram or Levine to the Sixers. Avoid Butler. And look, I am not a Zach LaVine person. Uriah. I think he's overrated to an extent. But if you can get him at the right price, 2 first-round picks, sure. Go get me Levine and OG. There. I'll take Levine if I get OG as well. Or go get Ingram and Levine. And then you still got the draft capital or the salary cap to go sign a player or two. Levine and a Maxey backcourt to me would be pretty bad defensively, so that concerns me a little bit. But you know what? We can sometimes forget Zach LaVine is still a pretty damn good player. I think he's overrated, but he's still a damn good player. Just saying. I still want Brandon Ingram. But the problem is, when Mikal Bridges goes for 5 first-round picks, plus everybody else's trade cost just went up. Everybody else. Instead of marketing being 4 to 5, now he's 5 to 6. Zach LaVine was talked about as a throw-in a few weeks ago. Now you're going to take 2 first-round picks from Ingram, probably 3 now for Brandon Ingram. Hell, it's going to cost you 3 first-round picks for Jimmy Butler at this point. Salute, Eric. How you doing this morning? We better draft tonight. Sixers not winning crap. Well, Brian, and I hate to say this. I hate to say it. If they're going to do what I think they're going to do, either make a trade for Jimmy Butler or trade their pick for future picks so that then they have more assets. Daryl Morey will trade it for future picks and swing the story. Well, we got to acquire as much capital as possible so we can go swing for the fences. If we're not swinging for the fences and we're going to draft for the future, you might as well trade Joel Embiid right freaking now, Brian. I don't want to trade Joel Embiid. I don't. But if you're not swinging for the fences, just get him out of here. Houston's making moves to bring in big names. They're going to try to win now. See if Houston wants Joel Embiid. They got lots of picks. See if OKC wants him. Find somebody. I don't care anymore. And it's not because I want to trade Joel Embiid. It's because I don't have any faith in the Sixers organization. Oh, man, I didn't even read the second half of this. Definitely thoughts. For sure. Absolutely. Positive vibes for you. Sorry, I hope everything's okay there. 5 picks for Bridges. What would Embiid get? Asking for a friend. You're going to get 5 picks for Embiid. At least. If you do it right now, not next week or not next year. If you're not swinging for the fences, just get rid of them. What's the point? Sorry, I'm thinking. I'm mentally sending some positive vibes towards Eric's family right now. Trying to catch my breath there. Building for the future would be my choice, but this ownership group does not care about their future. They need the names to sell the team once the arena is built. It's another angle. I was going to say, they want the big names so that they could sell bigger ticketed courtside seats and whatnot. The ownership and management of the Sixers is the problem, without a shadow of a doubt. I get it. Just draft. All right, so you want to draft, Brian. Who do you want? First off, before who you want, if you're going to draft a player at 16, what do you want? Do you want a backcourt running mate that Tyrese Maxey can grow with? Do you want a wing guy that can run and play defense, be the next Josh Hart or OG Anunoby of this team? Do you want a backup center? A lot of people have us linked to a couple of the centers in this draft. I don't know. I wrote down some names, none of them centers. You got Tristan Newton, 6'5" guard from UConn. He's a mature guy because he's been in college for 5 years, 2-time champ. Can score a little bit, plays a little defense. Bigger guard would be somebody you could put next to Tyrese Maxey. At least you have a lengthy guard. Isaiah Collier from USC, he's okay, got upside. Duke, Jared McCain, smaller guard. I don't want necessarily a smaller guard. You got Tristan Da Silva, 6'8", do-it-all guy from Colorado. Shot solid from 3, like 39%. He's a senior. He was a senior, so he played 4 years of college. If I'm going to draft someone at 16, I want one of the guys that is not 18 or 19 years old. I want a 22-year-old guy that's ready to play. What's up, Brett? Good morning to you. What's up, TMC? You are not the Don. If you were the Don, you'd be whacked by now. The good thing about the Knicks trade is we don't have to hear about Joel to the Knicks anymore. That is true, Brett. That is very true. Are we talking football yet? Not today. Camp doesn't get here soon enough. Yeah. I mean, we are a month away from camp. 4 weeks or so. We're like 70 days from the opening kick. Stop. We're not talking about the Eagles. We're definitely not talking about the Cowboys. Butler is getting traded tonight. 100%. Tony. Hopefully not to the Sixers. Hopefully Daryl Morey's big move isn't like 3 first-round picks for Jimmy Butler. Because if that's the case, I'm going to be crying my eyes out on this show tomorrow. I'll also be rocking my Jimmy Butler jersey tomorrow, but I'll still be crying my eyes out. Stop with the freaking cow. Who cares about the Cowboys? Good morning, Brian. How you doing? What's the over-under that Morey does a boneheaded move? I'm going to set the odds at -175 that whatever move Daryl makes, we are not happy with it. I'll put plus 175 that we're happy tomorrow morning with whatever move he makes. If they lose OG, I think Michkov for PH Hartenstein is a break-even off-season. Yeah, maybe. I don't think the Knicks are that. The Knicks are still not the best team in the East, let alone the NBA, just because of Mikal Bridges. But it's a swing for the fences move that could, if Mikal Bridges continues to develop. Plus, he's playing with all his boys. I have never wanted a team to fail more now than the Villanova Knicks. Like, I haven't. I can't. Like, I want them to fail miserably, just so all of Nova Nation can cry their asses a little bit more. One okay tight end. What? Stop. Like, I don't care. I know your opinions matter, but we're not talking. It's NBA draft night. Breaking NBA news last night. We're not talking Dallas Cowboys football on a Philadelphia sports channel. We're not talking Dallas Cowboys football on June 26th. We're just not. I've been saying Sixers should really go after this kid, SGA. Yeah. You got to find Anthony Edwards. You got to find, SGA. You've got to find Mikal Bridges. You got to find these stars when they're 24, 25. Teams that are in a rebuilding mode and don't want them. That's what you got to do. Find them now. I heard people saying Ben Simmons gets brought out by the Nets. It comes back to Philly. I've heard it. He's not going to be bought out. Ben Simmons is actually a very, very valuable asset to the Brooklyn Nets, because he's got an expiring contract this year. He's on the last year of his big deal. So a team looking for an expiring contract, he's very valuable, actually. And then come the trade deadline, he's really those expiring contracts are very valuable trade assets, just so you know. Nets are big winners. Bridges isn't putting anyone over the top. Knicks not taking anyone by surprise. Okay. That's fine. I think it was a massive overpay. But I give them all the credit, the Knicks organization, for swinging for the fences, saying, F it. I'm all in. I might have deuce 7 in my hand. All in. Let's see if you call my bluff. Trading for Ingram still gives you $48 million in free agency. Good to get OG or a KCP quality role. You could get KCP and OG. You can get KCP and 2 other players instead of OG. The $48 million, you can get 3 really solid quality role players with $50 million and trade for Brandon Ingram. Who wouldn't want that? But is Daryl Morey going to do that? No, Daryl Morey's going to blow his entire load on Jimmy Butler or Paul George. I still don't think the Paul George conversation's over. I still think, I know the chances have gone down from whatever they were, like next to nothing. I think they've gone down, but I don't think it's a 0% chance that Paul George isn't his big move, and I'm going to hate it. EOP content creators gaslighting this NBA. What? What am I doing? Draft Bronny if it means we get LeBron. Look, Bronny shouldn't be. I'll draft Bronny if it's pick 41. Give me Bronny at 41. But I am not wasting a first-round pick on Bronny. That is not swinging for the fences. Because where Bronny goes does not mean LeBron James goes there. There were reports that the Lakers are really close to extending LeBron. I think it was 3 years, $180 million contract. Shit, I would offer it to LeBron. I would. I would take 38-year-old LeBron for 3 years. I really would. That would be swinging for the fences. You know, on the draft note, people saying the Sixers should draft someone. It's not confirmed. But it's believed the Sixers worked out the least amount of prospects this draft process. The least amount of people have come in out of any other NBA team to work out for the Sixers. Which means either they're zoned in on 1 or 2 players, and that's it, or Daryl Morey knows he's making a trade tonight, no matter what. Yeah, he's going to. And you know what? honestly, I'm okay with OG getting a Supermax contract. I am. Because OG's the type of player we've lacked. Athletic wing player that runs the court, does a little bit of everything. Is he worth a max contract? No. Somebody will give OG Anunoby a max contract. Someone will. Might as well be us. I'd rather give OG a max contract than Paul George a max contract. 100%. Funny how they will break the Sixers balls on Joe. Meanwhile, the whole team went to the hospital. Yeah. Oh, God, if we traded Embiid, we'd be talking about that for another month. You know what, though? Trade him. If you're not going to swing for the fences and make bold, aggressive moves, what's the point of having Joel Embiid here? Really? For the draft, do we get one? Billingham, Collier, McCain, De Silva. So Billingham's not on my list, Brett. I did some research. I wrote down 5-6 names. Collier, McCain, and De Silva are on it. I like the idea of Tristan Newton if you want a backcourt mate for Tyrese Maxey, because it falls into the Tristan Newton thing, falls into like drafting an Alabama player on your offensive line, a guy that's been a national champion 2 years in a row for UConn, does pretty well, long, lengthy guard. I like the De Silva idea as well. So right now, to me, Newton and De Silva are the style of players I'd want most on this team if we drafted at 16. They would be my two guys. Or at least until the Phils choke in the playoffs. Yeah. Trade Ranger Suarez right now. Cut him. He gave up 4 runs and his ERA peaked over 2 at 2.01 last night. Just cut him now. The guy's a bum. I tweeted that out. I guess people know me too well and know that I was being sarcastic. I really expected some trolls to come at me. How good was Wemby? He was really damn good. Win Hoax just said, I'm not so sure everyone wanted to leave the West Coast, so he moved to Ingram OG. Give me Ingram, OG, and KCP. You've got the ability to give me all 3 of those guys. Would that be a successful day or offseason? Ingram, OG, and KCP. Is that a successful day? So your starting 5 would be KCP and Maxey in your backcourt. OG and Ingram, your 3-4, and Embiid, your 5. Is that a good enough team? It's good enough to compete with the Knicks, in my opinion. Maybe not the Celtics. 100%. I know a lot of people say that too. I knew who you meant, Windhorst. I know. I'm reading through Brett's spell checkers or autocorrects. I'm not sure the Heat have too much leverage with Butler at this point. Yeah, it's true. They're still going to take a haul. Because Daryl Morey's going to call, and they're going to know that Daryl Morey's an idiot, and it's got his back up against the wall, that he's got to make a move. And Daryl Morey's like, I'll give you this and this. They're like, no. We want this. Because otherwise, you're going to have to face the media. And if Morey stays at 16, Phil still won't be happy. I don't know what I'm going to feel like. If we pick a player, if we pick Newton or De Silva at 16, I'm not going to be happy, but I'm not going to be pissed. We'll just leave it at that. I'm going to be curious. He doesn't start wheeling and dealing soon. We should protest in front of the Sixers practice facility. Yeah. Do we need to give? Oh, don't worry. I'm going to be live tweeting Thursday night at 8 p.m. or 9 p.m., whenever it is. I'm going to live tweet the debate. I am. The great thing about the debate, it sucks. It's stupid. 2 terrible candidates. But you know what? They give a guy that likes to make jokes and off-color jokes a lot of good material. And I'll be watching Saturday Night Live this week just because there'll be great content for Saturday Night Live from the debate. So just going to throw that out there. Villanova would cheer on the Cowboys if they had football players on their team. Absolutely. Not just the Villanova PR guys. Villanova alumni are nauseating through all this. Can't wait for the ELP draft watch party night. Absolutely live all night through the first round of the draft. Mitch, do we know what the lineup is? Who's going, or Big Al, who is going to be on the draft show tonight? I'm so far behind on comments, though. No, this team needs to – Jesus. Maybe. They need to find something. Sixers don't just have to get big names. They need to make smart moves. and think outside the box. That's the case, and that's why I have no faith. Mikal Bridges ain't worth 5 picks, but it's thinking outside the box in the sense where that they're just swinging for it. They're going to take a chance on a player that's not 35 years old. Sixers' big move is going to be signing Kyle Lowry to a max contract probably. That's my confidence level. Also, wouldn't mind if Cam Johnson. I've seen already rumors. Remember, it's Vin Fosh season. He loves this season with his fake made-up rumors, but I have seen other people tweet out that Cam Johnson could be available and in play for the Sixers. I wouldn't mind it. Can't be the big move, though. Nets are big win. I think the Knicks and the Nets are winners. The Knicks are showing that they're all in. The Nets got 5 picks to start rebuilding their franchise. What would Howie do? Well, that's going to be Friday's show. Friday, I have a feeling Thursday or Friday is going to be titled Howie Roseman Appreciation Day. I have a feeling. Morey thinks NBA players prime B. Yeah, exactly. It must. So maybe we're just holding off hope and waiting. Daryl Morey's got a big picture plan. He's waiting until Joel Embiid's 35 to build the winner around Joel Embiid because that's when their prime hits. Does anybody remember what Bridges looked like late in fourth quarters against the Sixers? Not good. Not just against the Sixers. But see, the thing is, Mikal Bridges going to the Knicks, he's like the third option. Don't forget, Julius Randle's a big offensive part of that team as well. Jalen Brunson. He's the third guy. Hart scores some. I mean, Dante Van, they're so deep. Nobody is going to be the focal point outside of Brunson. Should MLB Rangers ERA is over 2. Trade him. Yeah, dude. I did a TikTok on that. I got some quite the response on that last night. 4 firsts and a pick swap for Mikal. It was 5 firsts and a pick swap. The 5th pick was heavily protected, like lottery protected, plus a player, plus second round pick. It was a lot, Marshawn. A lot. Screaming A. Smith is already being obnoxious about his Knicks on first take. Yeah, he's a Sixers fan when it's convenient. He's a Knicks fan when that's convenient, right? I like that nickname, though, Screaming A. Smith. I don't think Phil realizes the true meaning of swinging for the fences. I do. I miss. I swing and miss all the time. OG stands for often gimping. What? Maybe. Morey drafts Dillingham and flips him to a team in need of a young combo guard. Again, that's the only name I didn't write down that's been mentioned multiple times. Butler too zesty now. Yeah, I don't want anything to do with Jimmy Butler. I'm past it. Tariq Skubal is such a great player. Tip your cap for pitching a tremendous game last night. The Tigers pitcher. Yeah. Can we just trade Taijuan Walker for Skubal upright, straight up? Sure. Tigers can't say no, right? If Adam Silver can ruin Sam Hickey, he can get rid. Absolutely. Do us a favor. Well, we're not going to pick who. We're not going to talk about who we're voting for. We're not. No Morey on a dead planet. Yeah. Don't know. He's not in the actual debate, JFK or RFK. Q for quarterback 2. We're not talking football yet. Deebs, Ryan, Sean, Mark. So Deebs, Ryan, Sean, Mark, and Mitchie Poo. What a 5-man team. Live tonight for the entirety of the NBA draft. You got to love it. Good luck, Mitchie Poo. I'll be watching. Comparison is the thief of joy. Bub Carrington at 16. Carrington is not on my list either. Y'all have no faith in the Sixers, but you expect us to be interested in this draft. Why? I'm not interested in the draft. I didn't do any draft research till last night because I had zero faith that the Sixers would be even potentially making a play. So I like 2 names, but that's doing 5 minutes of research on each name. Cam Thomas seems to be available. What is his cost going to be to acquire? I don't know. They got 5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges. They're going to want 7 for Cam Thomas at this point. K1, you the man for checking the chat, yeah? Marshawn, I'm just sipping pina coladas waiting for Eagles camp. 30 days. 30 days. If Howie was GM, he would have maxed out Ricky Council. Possibly. Possibly. WIP stands for We in Pain. That's right. That's right. If 76ers emptied the clip for Morey and signs 2 to 3 great role players, yeah. Go for it, Brett. Do it. Do the deal, Daryl Morey. 5 first-round picks, pick swaps galore, whatever you need to do. You empty the clip for Morey marketing. You do it today. You do it right now. And then you figure out the rest. It's called swinging for the fences. It's making a bold move. It's telling your Sixers fans, your diehard loyal people, we're not going to accept staying pat and being average. We might suck and we might fall to pieces, but we're going for it. Do it. Do the damn deal. WIP. Can Phil call into the show after pick trade? Call into what show? WIP or this thing? I don't know. I leave the afternoon shows to them. You know, maybe though. That EOP 5-man team is guaranteed second round exit. Mitchie Poo, do you care to respond to that one? You know who's interested in the draft? David Archeri? No. I don't even think David Archeri will be watching. I believe in Joe Hendry. I don't believe in Daryl Morey. That's what we got to do. We got to get Joe Hendry to change it to Daryl Morey somehow. Scott said Nets are making Finney-Smith, Johnson, Bojan, Schroeder, and Sharp all available. Yeah, I would take Cam Thomas, obviously. Or yeah. I would take a lot. I would take some of those players. I would take them. The draft show, absolutely stay away from WIP. Not much I would trade that Clippers pick for, and I'm not sure Markin is on that list. I am. He's the best available, potentially available trade piece out there. He is. Whether we like it or not. He's the best available. It's a bold move. And he's only on the contract for 1 year for $18 million. So then you can extend him. You can see if it works, then you can extend him. Joe Hendry is greater than Daryl Morey. Absolutely. We're not doing cherry bombs. But what we will do is talk about cherrytickets.com. Great moments don't just happen. They happen with you in the crowd. Cherrytickets.com. No hidden fees. The price you see is the price you pay. Pay less, play more. Cherrytickets.com. Not just Sixers tickets, but concert tickets, theater tickets. When you go to check out, your $50 ticket doesn't turn into $200. In fact, use promo code EOP10 at checkout, and it gets you an additional 10% off. If you need a personal approach, 610-494-5050. Just when you call them, make sure you mention EOP Train the AM, and then you'll save 10%. Why would you overpay with the rest? Save with the best. Cherrytickets.com. And, of course, our friends, PhillySportsTrips.com. Go to their website, PhillySportsTrips.com. Sign up. Let them know EOP Train the AM is where you heard. Premium travel and tailgating experiences for Philadelphia sports fans. The best in the world. Plain and simple. They got, obviously, a great trip to Brazil to see the Eagles take on the Green Bay Packers week 1 of the NFL season. They got tailgating experiences for the Phillies. They've got Phillies trip out to Pittsburgh, get a Permane Brothers sandwich, and see the Pirates take on the Phillies. Taking deposits already for next year's spring training to watch our World Series champion Philadelphia Phillies try to defend their title. Trips to Miami to see the Union play. And, of course, all our other Birds takeovers of Tampa, Baltimore, Dallas. Lots going on. So make sure PhillySportsTrips.com. Back to the comments right here. No, we're not doing them just yet. Martian, we will do better than Pat. Yeah, is that it? I don't know. They're not too confident in that crew. If I could ever afford Biden economy tickets, yeah. Mike Scotto was the source for the Nets fire sale tweet. Look, the Nets took 5 first-round picks on for Mikal Bridges. They're in fire sale. I don't need any source to tell me that. Once you trade Mikal Bridges, your best young player on your team, you're open for business. Literally every player on that team is open for business. They're going to be tanking for the first. They're starting their own process. This is how you do a read, son. Yeah, that's right. I do my best. I try. I actually didn't think it was a 10 for 10. If it is it true EOP Eagles post games this year is no, I'm not doing post game shows. I do an occasional fill in for a post game show, but for me to do a post game show, it's pretty redundant. Then I got to re-talk about it the next morning on this show. So, what's up, RJ? We are in trouble, man. It's time to start over. Look, I don't want to start over. I don't want to trade Joel Embiid. But as I said at the opening of the show, and RJ, I'm guessing you'll agree with me on this based off of your comment, if you're not going to swing for the fences, if you're not going to throw 5 first-round picks to the Jazz for Lauri Markkanen, if you're not going to offer OG Anunoby a max contract, try to trade for and bring in 3-4 good players, you might as well just trade Joel Embiid right now. You might as well. My gut feeling is that they're going to take pick 16 and they're going to trade it for future assets. If that's Daryl Morey's plan, just trade freaking Joel Embiid right now. I don't want to, but just do it. You know why? What's the point? I'm frustrated after last night. And the tanking for Cooper Flag begins. Again, I don't watch a lot of college basketball anymore. Some things had to take the back burner because I watch and talk way too much sports. I got to give the wife the remote occasionally. So college basketball is off my radar. I don't know who Cooper Flag is. I don't know if this is a joke or an actual player or not, but whatever. OG Ananoka is an alien from City of Atlantis. Daryl Morey is an android from the future. Daryl Morey is something. I got a question. Is the current Daryl Morey hate the worst of all time for an executive in Philadelphia? Like, there was a point in time where hashtag fire Howie Roseman was trending 24/7 year in and year out. But I don't think the Daryl Morey hate or the Howie Roseman hate was ever Daryl Morey hate level. Gabe Kapler and Matt Klentak, well, Matt Klentak more, and Andy McPhail or whatever his name was, there was hate there. But I don't think it was Daryl Morey level hate. 76ers are going to take a step back for sure. 7'9" player to the Florida Gators. What? I don't even know what that is. Let's start making us player names and see if Phil bites. I might. This org won't be a contender for at least 5 years, Rod. Well, if that's the case, then you trade Joel Embiid. Because in 5 years, Joel Embiid might not even be able to stand without a crutch. If you don't think the Sixers are going to be even remotely competitive or contender-ish for 5 years, trade him now. Hell, I would consider trading Tyrese Maxey. Because in 5 years, what's he going to be, 28 already? A lot could happen in 5 years. You're not going to be competitive. Just get rid of him now. I don't want to. I wouldn't. But why not? Had to trade him 3 years ago. You know what? We might look back on this era of Sixers basketball and be like, why didn't we trade him? 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Do you think Morey solely believe in Embiid or this McGrady or this another McGrady situation? I don't know. I can't figure out what Morey thinks, what Morey believes, what Morey even is doing. Like, I just can't. I can't comprehend it. They're wasting this process. They're wasting the Joel Embiid prime. They may have already wasted it, RJ. They may have. And I'm telling you, don't want to trade Joel Embiid. But at this point, if I'm Daryl Morey or if I'm sitting in Daryl Morey's office, hell, maybe I'll sneak into Daryl Morey's office and just sit by his phone. I would answer the phone call if somebody called and said, if Houston called and said, yo, can we get Joel Embiid from you? What would it cost? I would make an offer. Why not? Okay. Don't know. Haven't watched a Duke basketball game in ages. Ben, yeah. You almost got me there. It's really easy to get me because I don't really read the comments till I read them on the air. It's not like I pre-screen your comments. But I saw the Ben and I saw the D. You couldn't get me on that one, Marshawn. I'm too good for that. I'm too good for that one. You can't give me Bart Simpson calling Moe's Tavern kind of jokes. Those I pick up on pretty quickly. Have you checked out? Yeah, I have. You guys are great. Harold Katz. Yeah, that might be the great hate of all time. But Morey's up there. Yeah. Oh man. Stop, guys. Stop. Yes, we may have wasted Joe. Sorry, we got new people commenting, but the originals, the OGs, the everydayers are trying to make jokes here, Rod. We may have wasted the Joel Embiid prime. Just, it's either swing for the fences or trade Joel Embiid. They're your two options, which is also swinging for the fences. Let's see what this says here. Oh, that's just a spam thing. We don't need spam things popping up. Berman and Katz were elite at being inept. Absolutely. WNBA is coming to Philly. If Daryl doesn't make a move, the Sixers fall to my fifth team in Philly. You might put the Union, if they ever get off of Apple TV, ahead of them. Put the Philadelphia Water Dogs ahead of them. Got to. But you know what? Daryl Morey fouls tonight. He might need to call David R. Cherry, the Cherry Law Firm. If you've been hurt at work in a motor vehicle accident, personal injury, or any criminal law, call David R. Cherry and let him fight for your rights. 610-565-0300 or go to cherryinjurylaw.com. Again, David R. Cherry will get you what you deserve. 610-565-0300 or go to cherryinjurylaw.com. Guys, you're watching Trend the AM, the number one YouTube morning show in Philadelphia, the first daily YouTube show in Philadelphia. Make sure you hit that like button, follow button, subscribe button, depending on where you're watching. We're here every single day at 8 a.m. talking whatever's trending in Philly sports. A lot of new people chiming in today. So I want to make sure you guys are hitting that like, follow, subscribe button. Find me on social media at Beard of Knowledge. But we do this every day, 90 minutes a day, every day, talking everything. And if we can grow this show, there's a chance it could become 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. But we got to grow the show, so make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button, that follow button wherever you are watching, guys. We did not just waste Embiid, but worse than that, they wasted my time. Yeah, preyed on our sick love because we are sick. We are suckers for sure. And Marshawn, all your sarcastic comments, this one's right here. We didn't just waste Embiid's prime, but we wasted our time. You know how many of those Sixers games during that 10-win year that I watched? A lot. Why? Because I love my Sixers. I love basketball. But now, pathetic. The new people will have to learn straight. To the new people, we have something that's called the Core 12. It's not 12 people. It's just the regulars that are here every single day, 5 days a week, chiming in the comments. They know my opinion. But the new people, thank you, Pull Up Shorty. Appreciate it. The new people, it's quite a rambunctious group in the chat. Phil, all I got to say is thank God for Harper. MVP. Bryce Harper. Thank God. Thank God for Jalen Hurts. Thank God for Howie Roseman. Thank God for Dave Dombrowski. Thank God for Danny Briere, for Matvei Michkov. Thank God for all of them. The power rankings of who the importance meter of teams in Philadelphia, Sixers at the bottom. Dude, Duck, I sort of agree with you and probably been the same. Maybe up through about 2020, I was still watching every minute of every game. Last 2 years or so, my desire to watch entire Sixers basketball games, plummeting. It's a shame. Some of those the heart and hustle and determination of that 10-win Sixers team, 10 times what this current Sixers team has. I believe in Joe Hendry. I love it. I love Joe Hendry. And now such a random guy like Joe Hendry has become such an internet sensation. I love it. Mitchie Poo, who do you like better, Hawk Tui or Joe Hendry? Hawk Tui or Joe Hendry or Tobias Harris? We're just going to throw those questions out there. I went to more Sixers games during the process. I've only been, Duck, and this might make me a fugazi or whatnot. I don't know. I've only been to like 3 or 4 Sixers games in my life. Never really had many opportunities to go. I've been to probably 100 Flyers games, probably 200 Phillies games, but maybe like 4 Eagles games and like 3 Sixers games in my life. Just haven't gone to many of them. The only person actually keeping it real about Morey, a lot of these creators got it. Dude, Bull, RJ, I have said the day he was hired, the day that picture of him and Doc Rivers in front of that big window, and they had a laptop in front of them and they were smiling for the camera, that day I said this was not going to work out. It was going to be the biggest mistake in Sixers history. I was a small timer. I'm still a small timer, but I was a really small timer at that point. I was just getting my start in content creation, we'll say. And I got crushed for saying how much of a bad idea it was then. Now everybody sees the light. And I always keep it real. But my opinions don't mean anything, RJ, on this show. This show's tagline is your opinions matter. My goal is to put your opinions front and center. Let you have a place to have your voice heard. You want to talk trash about Daryl Morey? Do it. Do it. This is the safe place to have your opinions heard. New people, if you answer the Godfather Goodfellas debate correctly, yeah, absolutely. But we don't know what the right answer is. Rose, watch every game. I just make sure I'm hammered. Yeah, the Sixers do make you want to drink. And I wasn't going to take a night off from drinking tonight, but I don't think I can on night 1 of the NBA draft. Again, why is there 2 nights for the NBA draft? Do we really need 2 nights? Do we? I don't think we need 2 nights for the NBA draft. Joe Hendry, of course, yeah. Godfather, of course. That's the question always on this show. Godfather or Goodfellas? It always is. Goodfellas is more rewatchable. Godfather 2 is... See, the problem is Godfather is not better than Goodfellas. Godfather 2 is better than Goodfellas. Godfather 2 is greater than all. Not only does he still have a gig, Duck, he's still got 4 years left on his 5-year extension. So in theory, we're just getting started with Daryl Morey. Because right after the Nick Nurse contract signing, Josh Harris extended Morey to coincide with Nick Nurse's entire tenure here in Philadelphia. Now, he could get fired at some point, Daryl Morey, but he ain't getting fired this year. He probably, even if whatever happens this year, he's still going to have at least 1 more year. Just saying. So we're going to have at least 2 years of Daryl Morey still. Because Josh Harris, being the rich man he is, isn't going to pay Daryl Morey to go away for 4 years. Rose equals Godfather. That's the correct answer. I don't know. Love Casino. I love Casino too. I think Casino's very underrated. But yeah, Casino doesn't. This is not a knock on Casino, but Casino pales in comparison to the Godfather and Goodfellas. And to add one more to it, Scarface pales in comparison to Casino, which pales in comparison to the Godfather and Goodfellas. I think Scarface is one of the most overrated gangster movies of all time. It really is not that entertaining. It really isn't. We've only done it once, but what you got to do, you can actually, they've taken Godfather 1 and 2 and put it in chronological order. It's like a 7-hour watch. So they've rearranged all the parts, so you just watch it straight through like that. That I only did it once, and I had to pause. I didn't watch it straight through for 7 hours straight, but you know what I mean. It's very interesting to watch it rearranged like that. Casino's Child's Play, yeah, it's still a really good, fantastic gangster movie. I just saw for some reason the initial trailer for Heat popped up on my timeline, and I was watching. I was like, "It's such a great cast." Yeah, Scarface aged horribly. That is for sure. Maybe that's why I don't like Scarface. It's just not that good. Like even Al Pacino. Like if you were ranking Al Pacino's top 5 or 10 performances of his career, Scarface wouldn't even sniff the top 10. Now there's some weirdos out there that think Scarface is great, but I think it's bogus. Carlito's Way was great, absolutely. Scarface was a Cuban refugee, totally different concept. Different concept, but the same, because he was basically a gangster. He was a gangster in the drug business. It's different, but it's the same. He's not Scarface. He's not an Italian mobster, but he's a Cuban refugee turned mobster. Same thing. Scent of a Woman's better. Probably. I don't think I've watched that too many times in my life, but yeah, it was a movie of its time. Yeah, and also I guess the '80s montages, like the wedding montage scene and stuff like that, the spending spree montage, like that shit just doesn't age well. Yeah, I love this elephant in the room. I love this. I love this comment right here. Devil's Advocate is fan freaking tastic. Love it. I mean, I can kind of tell the ending of the movie before it even started, but it was fantastic. That scene with Al Pacino in church, and he touches his water to the holy water, the finger to the holy water, and it sizzles, and he looks up at the cross and just has that smile on his face. It is one of the most iconic Pacino images in my mind. When I think of Al Pacino, I think of him in a 2 or 3 images, and that image right there is one of them. I love it. Carlito's Way is what Scarface should have been. It's a good point. Bronx Tale. I'm a Bronx Tale fan. I think it's slightly overrated. People put that up there in that elite category. It's good. There were great scenes in it. There was good story there. I think it was Chaz Palminteri was good, but it's not elite for me. But guys, again, we're at the hour mark here of the show. We got about 30 minutes left today. Make sure you hit that like button, the subscribe button. With the 16th pick in the NBA draft, the Philadelphia 76ers blank. What are the odds that he trades 16 for future picks? That is idea one. Trades the pick and a bunch more for Jimmy Butler, or does he swing for the fences and go and match what they gave up for Mikal Bridges, the Knicks, and goes and gets Lauri Markkanen? Because there were rumors that the Utah Jazz were going to try to play something and get Mikal Bridges to pair with Lauri Markkanen. Now Mikal Bridges is off the board. So now maybe Lauri Markkanen's available. Push it to the limit is my terrible. De Niro or Al Pacino, who's the better gangster? God damn. I don't know, man. That's tough. I don't even know if I can answer that, mister. I don't know. It's like saying, what did I enjoy more, the World Series victory in 08 or the Super Bowl in 17? I don't know. Like, I cannot pick between those two things. Bronx Tale is what Robert De Niro. Yeah, no, obviously. We're just talking gangster movies in general, I think, here. But guys, make sure you're hitting that like and subscribe button. And let's continue. Let's get back on par here with one final ad read. Then we will move on to continue talking this draft instead of movies. But Dolan's Bar. If you're in the Ridley Park area, if you need a place to go hang out to watch it, you want somewhere to go watch the NBA draft tonight, go check out Dolan's Bar in Ridley Park, 24 East Sellers Avenue. For 65 plus years, PJ and the crew have had the quintessential Irish American dive bar in Delaware County. Great food, great times, great memorabilia giveaways. DolansBar.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. DolansBar.com. Check them out and let them know. EOP, Trending in the AM, the #1 morning show is where you heard, and tell them you want to see a Trending in the AM live broadcast from Dolan's Bar and sometime in the future. Make sure you let PJ know that as well. Al Pacino has done more and more diverse gangster characters. Knicks making moves. Keyshawn. Is that Keyshawn? Is it the real Keyshawn Johnson? Is that the real Michon Johnson? Knicks are making moves. And Sixers fans are mad. But not because, like, they should be mad that their GM, that their executives, their team is willing to make a bold move. Overpay? Probably. But the fact that the Knicks were willing to make this move tells me that they're trying. If Daryl Morey's move is Paul George or Jimmy Butler, it's a disaster. You don't have to retread the same old guys. Make a bold move and make a statement that we're doing what we can do to be great. I'm dumping 5 first-round picks right now for Lauri Markkanen to match that move. I'm doing it. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Nobody mentioned Heat Somebody mentioned Heat above a few minutes ago. I mean, Pacino, De Niro, Kilmer, an underrated actor. Yeah, he actually looked the part. Like, I know he's small in stature, but like, if I bumped into, here, let me rephrase this Pesci, De Niro, Pacino conversation. If you bumped into all three of them on the street, who would you be most scared of in real life? To me, it would be Joe Pesci. I'd be really scared of him whacking me, not Pacino or De Niro. Pacino is highly respected, but De Niro in Godfather 2 is the greatest gangster actor. Absolutely. That's why Godfather 2 is better than Godfather 1. Because of De Niro. Because of De Niro. Back to this again. I'm going to put my ad reads back there because I've done that. I don't want the Sixers. Hell, I would actually be happy if the Sixers traded pick 16 for future picks versus drafting a player. Because at least it would give us that thread of hope that Daryl Morey hypothetically is still working on a bigger play. Like the Rockets made a trade yesterday and acquired more picks. So because they're trying to work on a play for Kevin Durant is what the rumor is. Why? Whatever with that. Question is, like, at least trading for future picks gives you a glimmer, a 1% glimmer of hope that Daryl Morey's got a bigger play. But I was reading something last night when I was doing some draft prep about like some draft and stash guys that the Sixers could make. If the Sixers go out and draft somebody and it's not somebody that could step in and start day one and play for us, which I don't know if you get that in this year's draft, then his priorities are wrong. We don't need a developmental guy. We don't need a draft and stash guy. We need picks, and we need a playmaker, and we need somebody that can step in day one. But also potentially be good or on this team and young enough so he's here for 5 years. As we transition off of Joel Embiid's era into the Tyrese Maxey era. We don't need 35-year-old Paul George or Jimmy Butler. We need 26-year-olds, 27-year-olds. That's what we need. I love it. It's such a great scene. Just shows how badass he is. Absolutely. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye to Grandpa. Say bye-bye. If you get that reference right there. That's it. That actor, who he got stabbed in the face with, and also Phil Leotardo. He'll always be Phil Leotardo to me, from The Sopranos. Always gets whacked in every movie, just about. Bold take, the Sixers will draft a better player than James Harden with the Clippers 2028 first. So you're going to wait till 2028? No, wait until 2028. The Sixers will use that 2028 pick to get something else. Joe Pesci looked so much like a local gangster in Vegas, but that during casino, he walked into a casino in makeup, already scared some old school pit bosses. Yeah, I don't know. Joe Pesci in casino, I don't know. Just that scene when he's like, when he's talking to the bank manager, and he's like, here's what I do. I don't think you understand what I do. Here's what I do. I'm going to crack your skull if you don't have my money. And by the time I'm coming out of jail, you'll be coming out of your coma. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put you back in the coma. Why? Because I'm not scared of jail time. That's what I do. That's my business. That scene, that line, I love it. I love it. We aren't winning before that 2028. Well, if that's the case, Elephant, I buy Joel. Just trade Joel now if that's the case. Harry saying the player picked at 16 won't be a Sixer. That's the goal. That's the hope. That's the theory. Is it because he traded for an aging superstar that's got no time left on his legs like Jimmy Butler? Or is it because he traded that pick for future assets to, in theory, trade for a player? Or is it because they make a big bold trade and try to match the Knicks and go get Lauri Markkanen? On a side note, I'm focused on Lauri Markkanen. I was focused on Mikal Bridges. Is there another team that's got about a 26-year-old star player, not superstar, star player that could be available? Brandon Ingram is just a smidge below, but is that it? Is it Markkanen or Ingram, and they're the only two real candidates that fit what I'm looking for? Or am I missing? I actually almost just want to pull up the NBA standings so I can see every team and just look at these other teams. I guess maybe a Donovan Mitchell might be available for the right price. I don't want DeRozan or Levine, but I guess Dejounte Murray. Is he actually in play at all? I'm not sure. I don't want Kyle Kuzma. That better not be the big move. Going down rosters here, trying to find guys that I could put up in that Lauri Markkanen, Brandon Ingram level that could be available. And I just don't see any. I'm really not seeing too much out there. I know I've mentioned Jeremy Grant's name a few times, and I do like Jeremy Grant, but you're not trading a lot to get Jeremy Grant here. You're trading one pick maybe two, and that's it. Just trade Joel. Just trade him. I hope we land Ingram or Lauri. I think it's a very similar deal as Mikal. I don't think Ingram costs as much. I think the cost went up for Brandon Ingram because it's like, what the Knicks did is kind of what Howie Roseman does. He set the market, or he beat the market. Somebody was going to pay big for Mikal Bridges, so he set it. So now Lauri Markkanen and Brandon Ingram's price goes up. I love it because if Mikal Bridges fetched 5, now Lauri Markkanen, you got to start with 5. Brandon Ingram might have cost you 2. Now he's going to cost you 3. I worked for them South Philly gangsters at Cisco on Packer Avenue back in the day. When the boss fired me, they called me into a conference room like they were going to whack me. I got some things I could say. I'm not going to comment on that kind of stuff live on the air because I got some stories I could tell. But I'm not going to get involved with that stuff. I like to keep myself alive. Just going to say that. But is there somebody else? Are we missing someone else? I mean, the Dejounte Murray rumor mill is kind of quiet. Are the Hawks not talking about Dejounte Murray anymore? Maybe that's what you want. Maybe you want a backcourt mate for Tyrese Maxey instead of a wing. How does that sound? How does it sound to go trade your picks for Dejounte Murray and go use your cap space on OG? Would that be a team that you would be happy about? Tyrese Maxey and Murray in the backcourt, OG and Embiid in the front court, and then you go out and you get KCP if you got to. That'd be a small 3 probably, but something like that. Does that interest Sixers fans more than some of these other options that are out there? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure how this could play out. I'm not sure how I want it to play out, honestly, at this point. I do know. Well, I don't know. I shouldn't say I don't know. But I find it very hard to believe that whatever happens tonight, I'm going to be happy with. And it's not because I want to be negative, because I don't want to be negative. I hate being negative. I want to spread positivity. But I just don't feel like there's any scenario coming out tonight that I'm going to be positive about the results. It's because I got no faith. Now, you know what? I'll come on. If all of a sudden tomorrow morning we're live on the show and Lauri Markkanen is a Sixer, guess what? I will say, good job, Daryl Morey. Way to go. I will give Daryl Morey his flowers if he makes a big, bold, aggressive move like that. I will. Yeah. Absolutely agree with that. I don't see anything to really bridge the gap. Sixers literally would only have 2 players signed right now. Wouldn't be surprised if Daryl Morey rolls out Embiid, Maxey, and a bunch of G League players. Look, we literally only have 2 players signed. Literally. Well, 3 technically, because they haven't voided Paul Reed's contract officially. But once they void his contract, which they will, doesn't mean Paul Reed's not going to be back. It just means he's not going to be back on his current deal. Right now, technically, it's Embiid, and Ricky Council. Not even Maxey, technically. But, Maxey will be here. I mean, look. If you're not swinging for the fences, you should be swinging for a rebuild. That is the way for the NBA. You don't need 3 max player superstars, but you need star players. You need a deep roster. You look at all the teams, the Nuggets, the Celtics, all the teams that are in it at the end every year. They've got a deep team of role players, star players, guys that know their role, jack of all trades. The day and age of Joel Embiid being the focal point needs to end. I'm not trading him. But I'm willing to consider the option. If somebody calls Daryl Morey today, if there's ever a rumor comes out, you know how the rumors came out that Daryl Morey turned down Tyler Halliburton trade from the Kings for Ben Simmons. And he turned that down, and he should be in NBA jail forever for that. If it comes out 2 years from now that the Sixers were offered 5 first-round picks for Joel Embiid, and Daryl Morey said no because he was going to, and we still don't do anything because he doesn't make the right moves or whatnot, Daryl Morey will go down as the worst GM in Philadelphia sports history. What's up, Steve A? Sixers better make a splash tonight after that Knicks move. You got to respond. But we're being reactive to the Knicks instead of proactive. Howie Roseman is always proactive on moves. That's what makes him such a great GM for the Eagles. That's what makes him such a great executive in all of sports. He's proactive versus reactive. That's what you got to do. You got to be proactive. We're not talking the NBA draft. We're talking NBA free agency and trades. That's the thing. I almost want to refresh Twitter right now. Did anything break since we've been live? I doubt it. I would assume you guys would have said something. I don't know, guys. It's hard to be worse than Matt Klentak, but you might have a point there. At least, it wasn't Matt Klentak's doing, but at least when Matt Klentak was here, the Phillies brought in Bryce Harper. Now, John Middleton had to step in and do his job for him, but technically, under the Matt Klentak era, we got Bryce Harper. Just saying. Well, Stevie filled in on golf last night with me. 10 minutes before the show started last night, Fairway to Heaven, Jason informed me that he had a power outage in Detroit, so he was there to fill in for me. So shout out to Stevie for being a team player and filling in there at the last second. Klentak wanted to roll out Nicky Dubs. Man, Nick Dubs, I thought Nick Williams had a nice, sweet little lefty swing there. Boy, it was terrible, terrible. I see the orange is gone now. Yeah, I said I was keeping the screen orange until Matvei Michkov was here. The Matvei Michkov watch, it's over. He's here. He's coming to Philly. And it's not just a rumor. The Flyers have actually put out an official statement on it. Flyers hockey's back, baby. The draft is on Friday. Next week, I'll recap the NHL draft. We'll talk Flyers throughout the summer months on occasion. The orange and black are back, baby. I'm so happy about that. That is because he's a Michigan State fan. Being that he's a Michigan State fan, that's why he had a power outage, Jason? Oh, man. Don't besmirch those Michigan State Spartans to him. He'll knock you over. He'll Al Pacino you. Coffee's done. Had to switch to the OJ today. Move over, JoJo and Jalen. It's Michkov's town now. Where is Michkov on the power rankings on the most exciting players in Philadelphia sports right now? Obviously, Jalen Hurts and Bryce Harper. Are you more excited to watch Michkov play than Joel Embiid? Because I am. Not Jalen. But JoJo? Absolutely. Michkov is top 5 power rankings, most influential athletes in Philadelphia right now. And he hasn't even come to Philadelphia yet. Maybe never. Michael, Morey should be fired Hire Bob Myers ASAP, as I have no confidence in Morey. Michael, you're not wrong. Anybody that says, and there are content creators out there, there's radio personalities, media personalities, there are people out there that have faith in Daryl Morey still. And I don't know how, where, why. There are still people, when I scroll through Twitter, there are still people that say they have confidence in Daryl Morey because he's got a blank slate. And to them I say, you're a nitwit. WIP needs to leave Jalen Hurts alone. And yeah, you know what? This you know what right here. Right here, mister. Well, WIP, WWWIP, and the fanny packs are creating Jalen Hurts, Nick Sirianni drama every day. Yet they never, ever put Daryl Morey under the firing squad, up on the chopping block in front of the firing squad. Why? Why? This right here. This is a screenshotter right here. This is a screenshotter right here. I'm screenshotting this, mister. There we go. I'm saving that. That's going up on social media later. That is 1,000% going to be a social media post later. Saved it. Done. Right here. Mister, you know what? I could just end the show right there for the day. I could, theoretically. Because this is the truth. Like, you know, why does Daryl Morey get such a pass from so many fans? I feel like I'm beating a drum. And nobody else is. I mean, except for the core 12. Like, I don't get it. We tried running Howie Roseman out of this city. There's still people that criticize Howie Roseman. Jalen Hurts, run him out of town. But Daryl Morey, who has done jack shit in his career, not just in Philly, in his career, he's got a blank slate, guys. This is his time. It's the biggest joke in media right now. Hold Daryl Morey to the standard you randomly hold Jalen Hurts to. They must be. Don Corleone must be paying them to keep quiet. WIP won't do that because players' times are limited, but ownership and GMs have longer stretches. So I like to stay on the organization's good side. Maybe. WIP isn't even the official broadcast partner of the Sixers. They are the Eagles. You'd think they'd try to stay on the Eagles' good side. It's a joke. No. You go to the Don and you ask permission to whack a made man. And I think the Don, this guy, would give you the okay. Okay? It's not a rant. But it is the best is when I rant. I get it. I don't understand how Daryl Morey has any reputation, let alone a good reputation in this city. I just don't. It makes zero sense to me. Morey needs to go all in for marketing and trade the house for him like that. Done. Do it. What used to be the Marcus Mariota hashtag from the Cuz? Do the deal. Hashtag do the deal. I'm doing it. Will it work out? Maybe. Maybe not. But you know what? It would send a message to Sixers Nation that we're trying to go all in and not with the same old retreads. We're making a bold move to change the culture and philosophies of this Philadelphia 76ers organization. We're all in on a younger player that we could pair with Maxey and get the best out of Embiid at the end of his career. Do it. Do it now. Soon there won't be anything to build on anymore. Something like that. Grant feels, no. Godfather's better. As the song goes, Morey had friends in low places. He must have some friends somewhere. No, because if I settle all the business today, then I won't have a show for tomorrow, K1. We always got to keep some family business open. So we always have something to talk about tomorrow. He's got pictures. How else is he held in such high regard? I don't know. Like, we always joked. Like, if Howie Roseman was ever fired, he'd be signed immediately. Where Nick Sirianni wouldn't immediately get signed. If Daryl Morey was fired, I guarantee you he would get another job within a couple days. He would, if he wanted it. And he shouldn't. He's not proven to do anything. I never liked the hiring, mostly because the guy's transaction history is atrocious outside of the Harden trade. That looks better in hindsight. Even the Harden trades, because there are multiple of them. He's traded for or away James Harden 3 times in his career now. I think. Yeah, 3 times. He traded for him in Houston, and then he traded for him in Philly, and then he traded him away in Philly. I'd say maybe he's 1 and 2 in that scenario, maybe, at best. Remember, Josh Harper signed by him? Yeah, I know. It's a stash, but I don't think he's the GM of the Commanders. I think he's just an executive. I don't think he's the official GM of the Commanders. But it's more of a stash if he has to get rid of Daryl Morey, then he could just slide Bob Myers up 95 to the NovaCare complex. Not the NovaCare. To the Camden, the Sixers practice facility. After all, they are not communists. I guess. Are you sure? Are you sure? Guys, we got to start the wrap-up process here for the day. Got about 5 minutes left in this show. I don't know what tomorrow's show will be like. Will we be happy? Will we be sad? Will we be pissed off? Will we be content? What will we be tomorrow when we go live at 8 a.m.? If he makes a bold move, even if it's not for Lauri Markkanen, as long as his moves is not Butler or Paul George tonight, I'll try to find glimmers of hope. If he drafts a player at 16, I'll try to find glimmers of hope. If he trades for future assets, I'll try to find a glimmer of hope. But I'm not feeling like that'll be the case. I think we're either going to be talking tomorrow about future assets or we're going to be talking about Jimmy. If Jimmy Butler's a Sixer, I will break out my Butler jersey for tomorrow. Doesn't mean I like it. Eagle Green 661, but I agree that Hurts is still a question mark. Sure. You want to have a question mark about that? We'll talk more Eagles later. But you know what I'm going to say? Hurts being a question mark and being a topic should not be superseding the fact that Daryl Morey has a bigger question mark, but nobody talks about it, Jack. That's the problem. Josh Harris doesn't care about the Sixers. His motivation is the Commanders. Yeah, absolutely. I don't disagree with you. I think Josh Harris is as much to blame, if not more, than Daryl Morey, than Joel Embiid for the Sixers' problems. Because he don't give a shit. He's just trying to count money. Make money. I think I would be on a rage-filled rant on Levine as well. Unless we trade like one. If all we have to trade for Levine is one pick, I'll accept it. But that's it. All right. You're going to raise me, and I'm going to fold because you're right. The dark cloud of despair is the favored hand over the glimmer of hope. It's 60-40 that the despair is going to beat out hope with this Sixers team. But we'll be here live tomorrow talking about it, whatever it is. Because that's what we do. We talk about it every day. We don't like talking about it every day, but we do talk about it every day. I will say this. Make sure you guys hit. I'm sure there's been a lot of new people, a lot of people in the comments, a lot of people, liking the show, but hit that like button. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, Facebook, follow, Twitter, follow. Turn the notifications on because we're here every day. And this channel will be live through the entirety of the NBA draft tonight. Deves, Mitchie Poo, Ryan, and company will be live talking NBA draft tonight throughout the draft. So make sure you're locked into Edge of Philly Sports. But make sure you guys tune in tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. again for another episode. And the way we continue to grow this show and get more people like today joining the conversation is by hitting that like button, that share button. It is free to click like, it is free to click share, and it's free to click subscribe. It's free to do it, and it helps support. Get the attention off of WWWIP and the fanny packs and get them on Edge of Philly. Get them on Trending the AM. That's what you do. The Knicks messed up any trades as they went and became the Minnesota Vikings in trades of the NBA. Ugh. Prepare for disappointment tonight. Thanks. As the Knicks giving 4 first-round picks, it's 5, I think. But you know what? I'm okay with it, Michael. I am. They swung for the fences. They might strike out, but they went for it. And I give them credit for going for it. I do. Prepare for Morey to run it back. Yeah, we're going to bring back Tobias Harris. That's it. The best fit for the Sixers is Tobias Harris back. It's free to not like Daryl Morey as well. It is. The next time the WIP is starting Jalen Hurts drama, call their station and be like, what the hell is wrong with you? Let's crush Daryl Morey, not Jalen Hurts. It does not cost you anything to hate anybody. It don't cost you anything to hate me. But you don't hate me. You guys love me. That's why you guys tune in every single day. Oh, okay. So we're not building for this year. We're building for next year. I don't give a if I hear anything about next year from Daryl Morey's mouth this offseason, I'm telling you. I'm going to be so freaking pissed off, Marshawn. Embiid can 6 first-rounders if Morey decides to trade Embiid. Mikal Bridges gets you 5. You got to think Joel Embiid can at least get you 5. And I don't want to trade Joel Embiid. I don't want to. I say it all the time. I'm going down with the ship, Michael. But if you're not swinging for the fences this offseason, then just trade Joel Embiid this offseason. I'm sure there's 2 or 3 teams out there that would love Joel Embiid right now. Believe in him more than I do in Daryl Morey. That's all I'm going to say. Just that's it. Yeah, I agree. We wish. All right, with that being said, guys, I got to wrap this up. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Make sure you're live tonight for the draft show at 8 o'clock. I got the picks. Okay, say if Houston misses out on Kevin Durant, they've acquired a boatload of picks to make trade. Maybe Houston's in all-in mode. Houston might want him. I don't know. Muchas gracias, Michael. Thank you very much. We're going to wrap it up there, though, guys. Back tomorrow at 8 a.m., trending in the AM on Edge of Philly Sports. I am Phil Stiefel. Find me on all social media at Beard Knowledge. I'll be live tweeting during the draft tonight, live tweeting during the debate tomorrow night. Yeah. Guys, with that being said, though, ring the bell. Go Birds. And as we end every show, it's very simple right here. Bubbles up, guys.